first of all, I think for us, like being in these type of games, learning in these types of situations, these are the things that we can put in the bank, that we can look at, we can get better at. End of game situations are great, but the thing that I really thought was great about this game is the way we played. We're starting to grow as a team. You can see us defensively disrupting things, and then our ball movement, 33 assists today, just sharing it. Everybody was just moving the ball. It's really hard to guard. They made a couple runs a couple times during the games, and we kept answering back. And then they made, obviously, a little bit of one late. But some great situational stuff that our team can take and we can put in the bank and we can learn from. So never want to lose. That always hurts. Our guys are competitors. I'm a competitor. But there's things that we really took from this game that we can use to keep going forward. And then we can look at some of these situational things. We'll get better and better. Go ahead.
Brian, what do you want your team to learn from those final 2 minutes of regulation and then the OT?
I think it's one thing is great. We're still a new group. We're learning like what spots to put guys in. Alex, Kyshawn, we're learning like they haven't always been in these situations, being the lead handler sometimes. Who likes the ball where, when to go, and then obviously the defensive stuff is always the most important. They had a main scorer out there. I think Bona did a great job of changing the game when he came in, but there's execution on both sides of the game that we can look at and we can definitely get better at, but those things you're going to be in these games as we grow, and I think they're great situations to learn from.
I realize you have a young team, but why did your team lose that lead late?
I think it's a combination of things. I thought we had some decent shots. We didn't make some of them. I liked some of our looks. I actually thought we executed some of the things we wanted to get to. Sometimes you don't make them, and then I think we fouled a little bit there at the end. This got them to the free throw line. They got a couple of key offensive rebounds. You got to give them credit there at the end.
Thanks. Coach, what went behind the personnel decision late in the fourth quarter and in overtime to keep out the two vets plus Alex, Bub, and Kyshawn?
I thought that's our closing lineup. Those are our starters. Obviously some two guys who are experienced around our younger players. Liked what they did. Thought they were playing well. Wanted to go with that group. Didn't second guess that at all.
Alex was very aggressive offensively early, especially going up against a guy like Joel Embiid. What did you make of his aggression and his play style against that caliber of a defender?
He's learning and growing. That's what the best part is. And he got it within the framework and the flow of the game. And that was the best part of how we played offensively. No one was forcing. The ball was just being shared. We hit the open man, like I said, already 33 assists. But you can tell that we're hard to guard when we play that way. The game gets tighter in the fourth, right? It gets slower. And we didn't score well down at some of our execution, but we're starting to see with Alex, like him learning to play within the framework, and we play through him a lot. It's not just the scoring. How many assists he had? 5 again tonight. That's the thing that I'm always most impressed with him. It's his passing, his defense. The scoring's going to come, and he obviously had a big night scoring tonight.
The last inbound that gets picked off by Philly, can you walk us through what that play is supposed to look like?
Trying to get the ball ahead. We think they're going to foul us in the backcourt if we bring it up pretty quickly, so we're trying to get it ahead so we can get a quick look there. They made a good play, but I think they would have fouled us if we inbounded the ball close to our basket. They would have fouled us pretty quick. Same play that Alex actually scored on the other night versus Charlotte. Yeah, so it's something we've executed before that we knew we could go to without a timeout. They made a good play.
Going back to Alex's passing specifically, what is it about the way he allows the game to flow through him, but you guys also play through him a lot within the framework? It doesn't seem like he's forcing it, but it seems like it's also coming through very authentically for him. What is that about him for such a young player, that he's able to read what the defense is doing, but also is figuring out where guys want and need the ball?
I think that's one of the things we saw very early, even going back to why we selected him. I don't think people talk enough about his passing ability, his ability to see the game. We like to play through him. You can see how we play, like to play through him at the elbows and different things, and he can make the reads. He's got a good feel for the game, and we're going to continue to do more of that.
Balance, again, with the scoring tonight. I think it was 8 players in double figures for you all. When you have an offensive output like that and the balance like that, is a game like this with the result that you don't have more frustrating than if it was similar to a Charlotte type of game?
Look, we're competitors here. That's what I love about our group in the locker room. Nobody's happy, right? Everybody wants to win here. But we put ourselves in a position to win the game. And like I said, we can work on some of these situational things that all teams go through, and we're a new team. We got new guys working together. We have some returnings, but we're adding some new pieces in there. The most important thing is how we played tonight. We played right. We shared it. We passed it. And our defense is growing. So I was pleased, but we're also disappointed. We all want to win.
What do you think about the way Kyshawn kind of stuck with it and found an offensive rhythm in the first half?
That's the part of the deal, right? Like, you're going to have games where you start off slow. I thought he played within the framework of the game. I thought that's what everybody does. That he didn't force it. He didn't score early. He let the game come to him. And then when it was his time to be aggressive and make plays, he did great things. I think those are lessons that you learn as you go through this league. The games can change. They can, and I think that was one thing I liked about our group tonight was our resiliency. Like, they made a couple runs, but we pretty much answered. And that stuff, that's how you grow your group. We're growing. I like it.
After Bono's putback with 27 seconds left, Kyshawn drives to the rim, puts up a layup. Looks like there was some contact. What did you think of that play, and did you think there should be a call?
No comment on that one. No comment on that one.
And then it seemed like down the stretch, the fans were pretty split, cheering for. It seems like there was a decent amount of 76ers fans. What did you think about the fan atmosphere, particularly with Maxey getting some MVP chants there?
I generally don't hear the stuff that people say like that, but I love our fans. They're a committed group. I've said that to you yesterday. Like, they're terrific.
Coach, what's it like for you to see a young guy like Sarr play that well against someone on Joel Embiid's level?
Just shows he's growing, you know. It shows you his game's improving, the work he's put in. I'm seeing these guys grow before our eyes, you know, in real time. But we're in game 4. So, like, let's keep working. We'll get back in the gym tomorrow. Got another game on down in Oklahoma City, so let's keep pushing.
Brian, down 3 with 10 seconds left in OT, CJ went for a layup. Is that the shot you want in that circumstance?
I think it was 18 on the clock, right? It was a free throw. So
yes.
Yes,
correct.
Yeah. We wanted to get it in quick. We didn't want to we had one timeout left. We wanted to get a quick 2, and we could see some of it worked. They missed a free throw. Kyshawn hit a 3. So we actually got to the situation we needed when we were down. So it was good execution there.
Hey, Coach, over here. Kyshawn and Bub at times give you sort of like a double point guard sort of look.
Yeah.
What do you like about that combination? How do they unlock the offense?
We got multiple handlers. And that's how we want to play. I think that's the hardest stuff to guard when you have a lot of guys who can make decisions on the court. And I think that's what you saw tonight. It's like we basically were playing, bring it up, you know, whoever has it off a rebound can push it, and then we're just moving it and sharing the ball. That's hard to guard. And when you have 2 big guards like that, plus Alex who can play through, that stuff's pretty hard to guard.
Sure. And Kyshawn and Alex are 2 of like the most popular development stories popping through the fan base right now. What do you as a coaching staff, what are you guys doing after they got off to that hot start, how are you keeping them to keep growing?
Nothing changes for us with that. And the credit always goes to our players. I got a great staff, great support staff for the medical and performance too, but it's our players. It's about how you become consistent in this league is what you do every day and how you prepare, how you train. So tomorrow, we don't change. We go back in the gym, we get back to work, and that's what I love about our guys. That's their mentality. That's the standard that they're creating in our gym. That's our environment, and that's how we're going to improve.
The bench, again, seems to be quietly but loudly at the same time being quite consistent for you, nearly 50 points from that deep rotation. What have they just been so steady at? I know Trey has been Trey, but it seems like you're getting consistent steadiness from your guys no matter who's going into the rotation.
Everybody contributed, and we're a deep team. I thought those guys gave us great minutes tonight. Everybody was sharing the ball, moving it. I thought it was really impressive. That's how we want to play. We want to use our depth. We believe in our depth. I think that's how we're going to be able to beat teams is wear people down with the constant pressure offensively and defensively, but our bench was terrific tonight.
Coach, what can you say about C.J. McCollum's leadership with this team, and despite him struggling a little bit tonight, how he stays like even killed throughout the whole game?
You know, I think he was actually terrific. You know, his leadership, he's a high character person. That's first of all. How he carries himself in his personal life, on the court, off the court. And then, you know, this is basketball, how he prepares, how he trains. This guy's obviously had a successful career. When you get to see these guys up and close and personal as we're learning him, there's a reason why these guys are good. Him and Chris have had obviously great careers, and there was a reason why. They're great examples for how you work and how you do things. I thought he really set the tone for us early in the game with him getting into the paint and kicking out to our shooters, very unselfish. He's been terrific.
Final question, Mark Jones.
Brian, right here. You mentioned Kyshawn's offense earlier, but what did you think of him handling the two small guards for Philly, VJ and Tyrese?
Yeah, he takes the challenge. Look what we've seen so far this year. First game, who did he guard? He guarded Giannis, then he guards Anthony Davis. Now we're putting him on two smalls. That's the versatility that we think we have on this roster. The fact that he can guard all those type of guys, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think it just shows our potential in general. It's up to us to be consistent with it, and it's up to us to show up everybody at the same time, at the same moment. And I think if we all do that, it could get scary.
And just a quick follow-up. I mean, after a game like this, when you lose in overtime, but Coach was talking about making strides. Like, how do you guys feel when you know you're getting close, but I'm sure the loss still stings?
I mean, to me, as a loss is a loss. We could say, yeah, we play hard, just positive stuff and negative stuff in the game. And at the end of the day, I think to win a game, you need to do more positive stuff than negative stuff. So we lost this game today, so there's steps to take. But yeah, I mean, we'll watch film and see what's good and what's bad and move on from there.
Kyshawn, you have garnered a lot of attention on both ends of the floor, but you've also garnered a lot of respect from opposing head coaches, specifically with your size and length on the defensive end. Knowing that you're on the scouting report, not just on the offensive side, but as well too, they're a huge focal for you defensively. Getting that respect so early on, what does that say about the work you've put in to this point, and how does a feeling like that make you feel?
I personally don't really care about being on a scouting report or not a scouting report. I'm just here to play basketball, and I know I'm going to figure it out regardless, make plays for myself and my teammates. And then on the defensive end, it's just about will. I want to guard the best players, and I want to learn from that and get stops. So, yeah, it feels, I'm going to be happy if, I earn some respect or something like that. But at the end of the day, I want to perform and win games.
It seems like, I know you've talked about the fouling, but your coaches have the trust in you to leave you out there when you do pick up a couple of fouls, but you also kind of notice the automatic reaction and adjustment from you, and you're having those conversations with the officials. Mm-hmm. Where is the confidence coming from you to be able to be out there still in foul trouble, but as well to have those conversations to make the adjustments in real time?
I think it started last year. With the adjustments I've made throughout the season. I had a couple of situations where I had early foul trouble and they left me out there. I was able to finish the game well. Just also talking to coaches in general, I think they understand that I know when I foul in general. And as long as I stay level-headed and, smart with it, I'm able to, choose when I foul, choose when I not foul, and just be smart with that.
Hi, Kyshawn. I'm sure you guys practice time and score clutch situations all the time, but to get that experience in a game, in those tight game moments, how valuable is that?
I mean, there's nothing better than playing a basketball game, a real basketball game, to get better. And it's all good to, run the play easily in practice and like that, but when the game is on the line, it's a little bit different. And I think we have strides to do in that direction, and it was good to experience that in the game.
And then going back to the idea of the scouting report, now that you have had such a strong start to the season, have you noticed a difference in how teams are guarding you and what they're focusing on?
A little bit. I would just say, it's always been kind of the same thing. I'm a tall ball handler, get into his legs, mess with his dribble a little bit. But that stuff I was already aware of. And that was just about me of just keeping my head leveled and just, help my teammates to win the game.
Kyshawn, after Bona's layup put them up 1 with 27 seconds left, you drove in, some contact it looked like, no foul. What did you think of the play, and did you think there was a foul?
I think we executed the play really well. The play was for me to go down to my right hand. Got to the basket, got a pretty good shot at the rim. If the ref didn't think it was a foul, it was not a foul. I need to make the layup, and that's basketball.
And then the crowd was pretty evenly split between Wizards and 76ers fans. Late in the game, Maxey got some MVP chants. What did you think about the atmosphere in Capital One Arena tonight?
It was fun to have that type of atmosphere at home. Even though there was Philly fans, we heard the Washington fans in there. I appreciate their support always. And it's on us to do our job to bring more fans to the arena, and that's for sure that it's in the works.
Kyshawn, I know you have to you and your teammates and coaches have to review the film and you'll learn from that. But now, just a few minutes after the game, what lessons do you take from how to keep a lead like that?
I think it's about getting stops and being able to bounce back when the other team goes on a run. I can't remember the exact score, but I think we were up 16-14 at some point in the middle run, and we took a timeout. And they made another run after that timeout. And I think that's where we need to learn, where we need to like stop the building and get together and cut it out at some point. Because if you keep letting them score, even if we score back-to-back, they have the momentum. So just being able to figure out how we get a stop and how we stop those runs together.
You and your teammates, your coaches talk about process over results, at least for now. What kind of discipline is required for you to keep that process over results focus?
It's not always easy. I lost a little bit of my temper the game against Charlotte because I was kind of frustrated, and I think stuff like that is going to happen. We already went a year of process over result, and yeah, it's just not always easy. But at the end of the day, you had to look at the long run and take what's positive and just keep going.
Kyshawn, it feels like you, Trey, Alex, a whole bunch of guys on the team could go off scoring any given night. What's it like to be a part of a team where it feels like anybody could have a big scoring night like Alex did today?
I think it's really fun because nobody's really selfish on the team, and to be able to just come into the game and just play your game and have fun, and whoever goes off that night goes off that night. I think it's really a relief that you just step on the floor and it's like, okay, who's going to take it tonight? Yeah, it's fun.
Kyshawn, from last season to this season, seeing the veteran leadership changing, tell us the difference between what it was like last season versus this season with CJ and Chris as well.
I think they're very poised as veterans. It seems that they've been through a lot in this league. Obviously came in with his resume. CJ has played in big games before, top-notch scorer. And you learn a lot about the calmness that they have on the court. You just look at them, they have an even face all the way through. And I think it's just really like, you look at them for confidence, and it helps you throughout the game.
I think same as every game, trying to, just let the game flow. Start by getting easy ones and then move out a little bit. And, just trying to be mindful on him when I'm on defense. He likes to draw a lot of fouls, so try to be mindful of that.
And what do you think you guys can draw, even though it was a loss, from being in such a close game and being in those time and score moments?
I think just the overtime experience, the late clock or how to manage a lead. I was up 10 with 4 minutes to go. We could have, managed it better. Maybe we played not to lose instead of trying to win at the end of the game. So we just got to fix that.
Alex, what kind of a challenge does a guy like Joel Embiid pose physically, just because of his size and his athleticism?
Yeah, he's big. He moves pretty well. So he's someone you gotta do your work early with, and meet him early.
How does it feel? Does it feel like you have a safety blanket in a way with Marvin Bagley coming off the bench for you, especially in a matchup like this where it's really tough to play against Joel Embiid and Bagley comes in and gives you great minutes?
Yeah, Marvin, he's been doing that for even before I got here. He's been playing great, and he had a very good night tonight. So I'm very used to that.
Alex, another game for you where you're particularly aggressive inside. What's your mentality when you see teams switch against you and you now have a smaller guy on you? What's changed about that mentality in particular?
I think just when you see a small guy trying to duck in, and either get a pass and try to finish, or get fouled most of the time. So probably that.
Alex, how much discipline does it take for you to remain after a game like this, to remain focused on the process rather than the result?
Yeah, I think you just watch film. It's a long season. We have a game in 2 days, so we just got to rinse, practice tomorrow, and get to the next game.
For those of us who've never played this competitive a sport, with this much emotion, how tough is it to keep the proper focus and not let the loss, to do what you need to do to get better and to develop?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, it's all exciting. We was in a very close game. We obviously, wish it went the other way, but, it's all stuff we got to learn from. Everybody knows that, and I feel like everybody has the right mindset and, just attacking every day and attacking practice, games, no matter what happened the last game.
Alex, when it comes to your passing ability, it seems like it's taken an even bigger leap than what we saw from you last year. How are you assessing when and where to make these passes to give yourselves and give the guys you're making the pass to the best advantage?
Yeah, I think, just having the ball more in like the elbow flash area, it allows me to I can see the court from there and make decisions, make passes, and, I just got to hit the open guy. And, sometimes it's like just a handoff and the teammate makes a great play or a great shot. So, yeah.
How much of it as well, too, is conversations with Bub, Kyshawn, CJ, or Chris, just about when you're working in that pick and roll or pick and pop action with them and they get you that pass in that flash area? Are you having those conversations with them about what you're seeing and kind of how they're going to cut off of you, of where they're going to go as well?
Yeah, we kind of do have those conversations like mid-game, depending on how they're guarding. So, like Chris will come up to me and tell me something I can do when I'm handing him the ball, or if it's Bub or Kyshawn. So, yeah, just having those conversations and making sure we're on the same page and, just get rolling.
From a defensive mindset, I know you take a lot of pride in your rim protection and shot altering, and it seemed like that was on heavy display tonight, especially with the way you were affecting shots down the stretch. Where does the balance of going for the shot block or the shot alter versus a guy, like just being okay with a guy who might get a dunk on you, knowing that your job is to protect the rim and protect the paint?
Yeah, I think you got to go every time. Like me, that's what I have to do, is go every time, no matter if I get dunked on But the mindset is just I go to block the shot every time that I can. And, if I block it, great. If I don't, I'll probably alter it and change, the way he's going to shoot it. And, that's going to be a good outcome for us.
Alex, can you walk us through what happened on that last inbounds from Chris to you? It was picked off, so we didn't see what the play was supposed to look like. What is it supposed to look like when it works well?
I can't say what it was exactly supposed to look like, but yeah, we just try to run it. But Grimes just came in and stole the ball. Basically, he just made a good play and intercepted it. So yeah.